What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we are talking about the last 24 hours that I've spent with the iPhone 12 Pro. Of course, we have the iPhone 12 here as well because honestly, there's not a ton of a difference between these two. They do have their differences, but they are largely the same device, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially given the lower price point that the 12 comes in at. Now, I've chosen to exclusively use the 12 Pro because with this device I get everything that comes along with the 12. So as far as the design goes, right? Obviously this is a new design for, well, it's actually not really a new design. This is very reminiscent of like the iPhone 5. Obviously it's much larger, and we have stainless steel here, much more premium materials on the side. We do have aluminum on the iPhone 12 here, which honestly, like, yeah, it looks shinier and stuff, but when you slap a case on it, does it really matter what the frame is made out of? I don't think it's gonna be any much more durable if you drop it because both sides are glass. So, I mean, realistically, the design, yes, it's fresh, it looks super clean, and I really do dig it all around between both of these, but it's kind of a recycled design, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because I am so happy to have these squared edges back here. I mean, the 11 Pro just feels clunky for some reason, even though there's not a huge difference in the thickness between the two. I just love the clean, flat sides. We have no rounded corners on the display here, no rounded edges. It's just nice all around. You know, as far as design is concerned, I will say what's weird is these small little boxes and the fact that there's no charging block in there anymore, no headphones, and we just get one tiny little Apple sticker. How am I supposed to build up my hoarding stash of Apple stickers with one little Apple sticker per iPhone? Like, that's just not fair, you guys. It's just not fair. So one thing I do want to say about the design of, well, the 12 and 12 Pro, they both have the exact same dimensions. Like, everything is the same here. Screen size, 6.1 inches. That is a freaking beautiful spot for a screen size. And I mean, the bezels here are nice and thin. Like, I actually might consider using this as a daily over the Max version, just because this is kind of, that just small little bump in screen size versus the 11 Pro definitely makes a difference in my opinion, and it makes it so like this is big, but it's not too big. It just kind of works for me, I guess. I don't know. As far as the speed and the specifications go, I mean, obviously it's an A14, it's stupid fast. We have a Geekbench score here. If these numbers really mean anything to you anymore, there you go. But I think that it comes down to each person's individual use, right? This phone is going to be stupid fast regardless of anybody. It's a brand new phone. It should be. Time will tell if they start slowing down and stuff, but I think that you're gonna be fine, and I don't think anybody's really gonna have any performance issues when it comes to this guy. Now, before we jump into the nitty gritty with the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro here, as far as new features go, if you have an older device, upgrading to iOS 14 alone will be a game changer for you. There's a ton of new stuff in here that I think doesn't even have anything to do with these new shiny phones right here. So if you haven't upgraded to iOS 14 yet, do that. And if you want to find out some of the new features involved, I'll leave a link down below for you. So obviously one of the standout features with the iPhone 12 series, MagSafe, right? Apple promoted the crap out of this thing. This is a magnetic wireless charger. It's just Qi charging, so it has a magnet. There's a magnet built into the phone right here and one on this side, and when you plop it on there, it sticks to it and your phone starts charging, as you can see right there. It's pretty simple. It works pretty easily. I mean, it's nice because you can just have it on there and I'm just chilling in bed, you know, kind of using my phone, and I don't have this little bottom portion blocked off, which I do think is pretty nice to have that freed up. It's kind of a minor thing really, but it does make a difference in my opinion. Now, MagSafe, right? Let's talk about MagSafe, okay? This thing is cool, but unlike MagSafe on a MacBook that they used to have, this is not going to prevent your phone from flying across the room if you trip over the cable, because it doesn't hold on that strong, but it holds on strong enough to where I can hang the phone by the MagSafe. So if I trip over this cable, you better believe my phone is flying across the damn room, because it's just not the same, right? It's not the same as the MacBook MagSafe. I think it latches on very strong. Now, obviously that's important for many reasons, but I don't think it's fair to compare this MagSafe to MagSafes that were on, MagSafe connectors that were on the MacBooks previously. So it's nice, and it does latch on there pretty well, makes charging pretty easily done. I mean, I have no problem with it. But let's talk about cases for a second, because there was a lot of people talking about the case situation with MagSafe. All right, so here we have a random selection of cases that I showed off in my previous iPhone 12 cases and accessories video, so if you want to check that out, link below. But various cases will have different degrees of magnet adhering to the back of the case, right? So if you have a case like this one from OtterBox or this one from Apple that have MagSafe pass-throughs built in, that means that there's actually a little magnet inside of there, and it makes it easy for this to attach to the case itself, and so therefore passes through that connection to the phone. So we have that on the Apple case, and we have that on this OtterBox case right here, and I assume we'll see a ton of other cases roll out in the near future that have that compatibility as well. Now, what about a case like this? This is a spec case, and it's pretty thick. It's got, you know, it's got some heft to it. Let's slap this on here. Does this hold on tightly? Well, you have to look at the basic properties of magnets. Magnets! Have you heard of magnets? Okay, great. So magnets here, it will stick on the phone, right? It's gonna stick on it and it's going to charge it, as you can see, but it barely sticks on it. I can still have it in my hand, and as long as I'm kind of keeping a hand on it, it'll stay on. This is a slicker case too. So the properties of the case and the properties of the thickness of said case will affect how well this sticks on there. This one barely sticks on there. Thicker cases create more space between the magnets, and therefore the magnets don't stick together as well. I hope this is basic knowledge for a lot of people concerning magnets, but if it doesn't have MagSafe built in, it's not going to stay on there pretty well. Here's a really thin case from Totally, right? So let's go ahead and throw this one on here real quick, and you can see that this case, well, that sticks on pretty well. You know what? It's because the case is thinner, and this should be common sense to a lot of people, but just keep in mind, thickness of the case will affect how well MagSafe sticks to the back of your phone if it does not have MagSafe built in, which is just a pass-through magnet that allows it to hang on. So now that we've cleared that up with a variety of cases, just keep that in mind going forward. If the case is really thick, it's likely that MagSafe is going to slip off if it's not built in. Hopefully, most iPhone 12 cases, at least the more premium ones, maybe not the budget ones, but a lot of cases will come with MagSafe built in anyway for the iPhone 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, etc. So keep that in mind with MagSafe. I did also check out the wallet accessory inside of an Apple store, and I would not trust that thing to hold on the back of my phone with my credit cards in it for the life of me. It falls off so easily, at least the demo did in the Apple store. When I pull it out of my pocket, the thing just fell right off. So I would keep that in mind too before you go dropping 60 bucks on the wallet accessory. Anyway, MagSafe, I think it's cool, but it's kind of gimmicky in my opinion. We'll just have to wait and see if any other cool accessories with MagSafe roll out in the future. So let's talk about the cameras here, right? And as you can see, well, one has 3 and one has 2. So obviously, the one with 3 more cameras is gonna be better. Well, that's subjective, right? So if you want a telephoto lens, if that's important to you, then go with the Pro. If you don't, then go with the regular 12. Now let's talk about the camera here on the iPhone 12 Pro. So one of the cool standout features here is the fact that the front-facing camera actually has night mode. So if you flip it around, you'll get night mode on your front-facing camera, which is, I think, is pretty cool. I mean, that's nice that you can get more natural looking photos instead of using that bright flash from the screen. I actually dig the night mode, and it does make a difference. Like when I took some photos and compared them between the 11 Pro and the 12 Pro, the night mode photos on the 12 Pro definitely look better. Now, when we're talking about the rear camera here, especially on the 12 Pro versus the 12, you can see not only do we have an extra camera on the 12 Pro, but there's this little black dot right there, and that is the LiDAR sensor. Now, the LiDAR sensor is actually said to improve low light focus, and believe me, that has been my experience for sure, and it does help a lot, especially when using night mode photos. I've noticed that, especially between the iPhone 11 Pro and the 12 Pro here, the night mode photos looked crisper in my opinion, but that can be subjective depending on how still you're holding the phone while the night mode is capturing and how well you focus before the shot. Those things will all make a difference, but I thought that the night mode here on the 12 Pro was definitely crisper in my opinion, and I noticed that the low light focusing in photos and video were better. As far as regular photos go, I mean, Honestly, yes, I can see a little bit of a difference there between like the 11 Pro and the 12 Pro, and I hate comparing it to the last one, but we kind of have to do that. If you're coming from anything older, this is definitely a win. Like, get this phone, it's really nice. But I don't think that it's a huge upgrade from the previous year, but I think it is miles of an upgrade from any year before that, at least in my opinion, and the photo gallery can speak for itself. I will be sure to leave that link down below in the description for you. So if you want to talk about camera upgrades, okay, this camera is nice, but sadly, the real iPhone camera update this year comes with the 12 Pro Max. While this has a great camera, the 12 Pro Max has a larger sensor, a claimed 87% better low light performance, which is mind-blowing because, I mean, come on, it's a little bit unfair, right? I mean, we have this nice 12 Pro right here, but the 12 Pro Max has a bigger screen and it has much, much better low light performance, which is just sad in my opinion. Why couldn't we even the playing field and just have these two be the same? I'm not sure about that, but you know, it is what it is. One thing I have yet to test concerning the iPhone 12 Pro camera is the Dolby Vision, and I mean, it's just amazing that we can do this from a smartphone. 10-bit video HDR, it's pretty incredible, and if you want to see like an entire Dolby Vision test on the iPhone 12 Pro camera, be sure to leave this video a thumbs up. But yeah, I mean, overall, the camera, it's a nice upgrade, but is it that big of an upgrade over the 12? Because these two cameras right here on the side are the same. The only difference is that you're getting that telephoto lens. Does that matter to you? If not, save some money and get this. I mean, yes, the low light focusing is faster on this, but again, I didn't notice a drastic difference to spend an extra, you know, $200 or $300 on when everything's said and done. All right, now let's talk about one of the features that Apple like just pushed and pushed and pushed. 5G, right? 5G on the iPhone 12 series. Did Apple just make 5G real? That's the question I want to ask you. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because it seems like even though they're pretty much late on a lot of things, whenever they announce something, it becomes real in the world. Right now, it's not as widespread as you would like it to be, right? So everybody has 5G logos, and there's a lot of sub 600 5G floating around there, which is great if you have that in your town. But I think that we'll see this develop over the coming years, and it will be a real game changer in terms of smartphone technology and just the speeds at which we're able to do things. All right, so let's talk about battery life here for a second, right? I know it's hard to gauge after 24 hours exactly how good the battery is going to be. It's nearly impossible because I had just gotten everything installed and set up, and I don't even have like every single thing that I will use on this phone yet. I've just been doing it. I mean, I haven't really charged this phone. I'm at 34%. Things are looking all right, but I can't really give you specific numbers yet because, well, it just wouldn't be fair. I mean, this guy right here, it might not be the best battery in the world. I don't know yet, to be honest with you. So I will do a more long-term review in terms of the battery life coming up in the future. So be sure you're subscribed if you want to catch that. Really though, these are just some of the initial thoughts and concerns and praises that I've had over the last 24 hours using the iPhone 12 Pro right here. It's a great phone. I think it's nice. It's around $1,000. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. This guy starts around $800, $200 difference between these two. Now, can I recommend the 12 Pro over the 12? I don't think so, because you're really not missing much with the 12. I mean, it's a great phone. Like, I mean, you're not getting the same materials. You're missing a camera on the backside. Is that really that big of a deal to a lot of people? I mean, if it is for you, great. And if you're coming from any phone prior to the 11, maybe you're on a 10, maybe an 8, a 10, somewhere around there, this is gonna be an excellent upgrade. Obviously, I think that it's very, very small margins here if you're upgrading from an 11 or an 11 Pro. Maybe if you're going from an 11 to a 12 Pro, sure. But I think that overall, while this is a great phone, it's just hard to justify a direct upgrade, and I know most people aren't doing that. So you should be in the clear with the 12 Pro. It's a great phone, but it's not for everyone, and the differences between these two are very minor. But I'm looking forward to checking out the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the Mini because, well, the Pro Max has a much better camera, but I wanna know what you think about these two down in the comments section below. Which one do you like the best? Are you picking one up? Did you pick one up? And if you haven't caught my cases and accessories video for both of these phones right here, be sure to check that link down below in the description because yeah, there's some cool stuff that you can accessorize your phone with and protect it with. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that? It's an all glass phone. Like every phone nowadays, basically. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't be notified when new videos like this drop in the future. But I really appreciate all the support, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.